Hey everybody, Bam Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at an awesome dynamic statue of Nagato Uzumaki in his reanimated form. This is the first of Dueling Studio's line of statues. Next is going to be reanimated Itachi, and then I believe later on we're going to see Killer Bee and Naruto himself in his KCM mode. Sitting at a scale of 1/7, and also there's only 80 of these bad boys made in the world. On the bottom of the base is really cool, right? We can see the King of Hell, a jutsu that Nagato uses, and it's being summoned. It's like partially being brought up from the ground. We can see that reddish looking chakra coming in. It's got transparent. Also, the eyes on here are transparent because there's going to be some awesome LEDs, some crinkles in the nose because obviously he's always ticked off. Where his head comes to a point, we'll also see a drilled hole. We'll go over what that is for later. Right here, we'll see a slot where that feathery portion of his outfit will be popping out of. We can also see the AC adapter in the back where the LEDs are going to be plugged into to get some power. Overall, this base is a nice representation of this ability, and also I love the balance of both the clear resin and the natural looking rock. This is that AC adapter that I mentioned before with the round circular plug. We'll go ahead and take a look at the LEDs early on to see what this looks like. Love it, right? This is what we're talking about with a balanced statue. The LEDs don't overpower, doesn't overshadow anything. It just adds to it with the Rinnegan lighting up, and also there's a little bit of chakra particles in the front. Jumping straight into Nagato, we'll see that he's in a very dynamic pose here. We have that left leg that's raised up in the air. Also on his foot, unfortunately, there's a bit of a paint scratch. That's because of me. The way that it sits into the base, it naturally just happened. You don't see it when everything's connected, so no big deal. The knee is raised there. We have the texturing all throughout the outfit, and also that hole that's on the top of the King of Hell is also right here. We'll kind of go through how those connect a little bit later. But really, really good overall. The details, good blending of that texturing and also the skin tone, the way it was painted, the shading all throughout his actual cloak or outfit looks fantastic as well. Because Nagato has access to all the different paths of pain that we saw, or the abilities used, we can see the Asura path on the top portion where it's more of an augmentation turning into a weapon. You can see all the different fingers that are sprouting around that cannon there. And then also we'll be taking a look and see what goes through all those little holes very soon. The head sculpt has that perfect anime vibe to it. I'm glad they didn't go for a lot of texturing. It's really smooth. Sometimes in Sasuke head sculpts, I see them go for a lot of texturing. I think it's out of place. This is perfect looking for him and his character. Screw you need to use for this statue is going to be this one right here. So it's going to plug into the back of here, and it's actually going to keep him mounted up from shaking or moving too much. I think over time he did have the possibility of warping his leg, because the only place that it mounts to the actual statue is on the bottom of the leg here with this peg. So that screw is going to go into the back of the King of Hell, and it's going to allow him to mount and stay more into place. Which one of the last things you ever want for your statue is warping over time. Sometimes that can happen in countries or people that live in more humidity or humid areas. And we'll see the hole here. There's a little bit of a light shining through on Nagato's cape. I feel like there's so many better ways they could have went about bracing that, but for some reason that's what they did, so we'll go with it. Here is the feather portion that's going to go on the top of the King of Hell here. This is obviously one of two that we have sculpted. The actual notch at the bottom is perfectly keyed to just slide right into place. In case you haven't seen already, to celebrate the showcase of this guy, we have some BAM Collectibles exclusive merch that's up in the shop. This is going to be only through the end of April. We'll see the Indra Susano head up here, BAM Collectibles on the bottom. We have awesome shirts available as well as some hoodies to hold you over through the rest of the winter. Everything is super comfortable, really high quality. So I hope you enjoy it and take advantage of this while it's up. These days, this is one of my favorite style of statues, where you have more of an organic, natural looking base. It's not a round plate style. And also you have a great representation of both the character, jutsu abilities, and also a little bit of LEDs. In his left hand, we'll see him holding some chakra. This is exactly what he did, or what it looked like when he was using to absorb the soul or suck the life force out of a person with this actual ability. So really cool how they sculpted the hand inside. You can almost see each individual finger, and they have that clear purple looking resin that goes right over top. The next hand is actually pretty plain. There's nothing much going on here because this is the side where the augmentation is popping out. They just had the straight up hand, but they did capture all the awesome looking textures that go on his actual cloak here. I love it so much. It's not an over texturization of the statue either. It's a great fit for it. Popping out of one of the hand is these tentacle looking pieces, exactly like in the show. They are held on with a little slot that it keys into, but I add a little layer of blue tack to add some friction to help it to stay into place. If you're not familiar with blue tack, it doesn't damage. It just adds a little bit of an extra layer so it doesn't slip out or fall out. One of the tentacles did have the hand sculpted onto it, so it's great, right? You're not wondering, well, where the heck did his hand go, right? So there it is right there on this specific piece. Really neat way how they did sculpt this all together. I'm glad everything is separated so there isn't any risk of breaking, but here's how it looks all together. Really wild, really dynamic looking, how they're all flowing in different directions. Next up is more of an artistic representation of this ability. I don't believe we saw this actually shoot in the show. I know that he held it up to Killer Beast's face, but this is what they came up with, a nice little vortex happening at the beginning. The notch that goes into the actual cannon is in a half moon-like shape, and then we have the actual beam that's shooting from the tip there. Cool little feature, right? So this is a piece that you don't have to install if you don't want to. It does add a little bit of height to the statue, but to me it adds an overall cool looking feel to it, right? We have some purple clear resin, and y'all know I am a fan of clear resin. Psst, turn off the lights. This right here is the stuff of nightmares. How crazy does that look in the dark with everything perfectly outlined? I love how cool the Rinnegan is and how much it sticks out there. Sliding him over to the side, it's time to see what card that I'll be showcasing next to him. We have this awesome looking Nagato card. This is an official one. It's not any custom card from the Naruto CCG game, but how perfectly fitting to have this one. It's one of the later series where they have more of a full art look to the card. Really cool looking. And then we'll go ahead and bust open 2 packs today because we're going to be showcasing a statue very briefly after this one. So, you know, per statue, we have 1 pack. In the very near future, I'm going to be sending off some of my Naruto CCG cards to be graded the more rare, expensive ones. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see a video before I send them off. Take a look at which ones I'll be grading, and also we can do kind of a follow-up video if you would like to see what they came back at. When it comes to the cards, I'm not going to be really grading them off to try to make any extra amounts of money off them. These are just for my personal collection. I'm not sure where the Naruto card market is even going personally, but I do this because I love them, have good memories with them, both playing and collecting. So that's why I'm going to be doing that. For the second pack, we're starting off with Dynamic Action. Got a guy in the background, Punishment. And then, yo, another super rare Yamato up in here, another one. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So this is crazy. These packs I bought loose off of somebody, and I kind of was curious if there would even be any super rares there. When somebody sells loose packs, it's always a little leery. Did they bust open a box and then, you know, pull all the super rares and then give you just the crap cards? But that is not the case. Another one pulled on the channel. I can't believe that's like a few back-to-back videos with super rares in packs. Then we have Will of the Third Hokage, and our last one is Sand Arm as a rare for the pack. Before we jump into the next statue, I'll showcase, of course, the card I'll be displaying with this one. This is one of my all-time favorite cards that they came out with. Again, one of these ones that are later in the series to come out with, but overall, just a very vibrant, gorgeous looking card. I actually have 2 of those that I'll be sending for grading, which is super exciting. Those that follow the channel, you know that I've showcased this before, so I hope you enjoyed that video previously, but I added some custom LEDs to this bad boy recently and breathed some amazing new life back into it. I always thought to myself, what a waste to have all this amazing clear resin in the form of the Kyuubi Chakra all around Naruto and for it not to light up, so I took things into my own hands and did what you know I love doing best. Such an amazing pairing together, and we are on the road to 200K subscribers. If you haven't done so, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed today's unboxing and review. As always, everybody, I'll see you in the next one. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.